Get to it, Weekend Warriors, because the Weekendology Podcast is roaring back with a brand new episode to spice up your life. This is the only podcast with the hottest takes, the best talking points, and the stories to spark your weekend conversations. We cover all things related to music, movies, sports, and more, and give our takes on the ever-changing landscape. I think now more than ever we need some entertainment to kind of help kickstart some Zoom chats topics for the family or friends this weekend. So I'm your host, Will Deichley, with Aaron Berg. Aaron, what's up?
Hello. I am just still, isolating. And
we're still social
hanging
distancing.
out.
Yeah. You're the only person I get to interact with
I'm honored.
On a weekly basis. So consider yourself in the upper echelons of my top five. So
it's an honor.
You are in the inner circle, Aaron. So congratulations.
I'm not sick.
You're not sick. Thankfully. This episode is in collaboration with Colin Kessler of the Big Red World, so go check them out. They're a podcast network with podcasts like House That Rick Built and Six Drunk, One Sober. They're on Twitter at Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org.
Yeah, props to House That Rick Built. They're doing some pretty good episodes, a lot of interviews, a lot of interesting ones. Some 90s Billikens.
Wow, there. Incredible.
Yeah, they're reaching back.
Maybe
but
they'll get
it's some good content.
Larry Hughes or something too?
Oh, that's the dream.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, they got a teammate of his.
Did they really?
Recently. Yeah, some big white guy.
Oh,
he's got
his
some
name is Big
name.
White Guy.
He's from Southern Illinois. Yeah, big white dude.
That's cool. I didn't know.
But, yeah,
I haven't watched or listened to any of their episodes lately, so I'm
it's getting good. I listened to that one, and I don't know too much about the old Billikens, so that was
that's like
entertaining.
Way back in the day before you were the Billiken and had
way
the best
back.
mascot of all time. That was when they had probably their old logo too, probably like in the 90s or something.
That was when they had red in their uniforms too.
Oh man. That's really vintage then.
Yeah.
What was it about like St. Louis and like back in the day with like St. Louis, all the colors are like blue and white and stuff, but like there's always that little red streak in there.
Yeah.
Like the Blues had that old red streak too.
Yeah.
The Cardinals obviously are always been
the Rams
red,
had red seats.
They did, yeah. The Rams had red seats for a little
Weirdest
while.
thing ever.
I don't know. They just love throwing that little streak of red in there with all the blue action.
A Cardinal-run town.
I guess so.
That's how powerful the Cards are.
It's not a baseball town anymore, though, so it's all about the hockey, especially since the Blues won the Cup last year.
It'll always be a baseball town.
Nah, it's not always going to be a baseball town.
Do you think the Blues can take over the Cardinals?
I think they could. One day.
Yeah, that's because you worked for them, and
well,
then now that as you wear your Blues shirt,
I have seen my fair share of fair-weather Blues fans. So I'm just saying
there is no chance that the
possible.
Blues will take over the Cards.
It is possible, but let us know what your thoughts are. Check us out on Twitter. We're at Weekendology Pod. Give us a follow. Interact with us. We want to hear what your thoughts are and hear everything that you guys have to say about how you're surviving social distancing and this current pandemic world. Check out our last episode where we talk about all of the changes in the sports industry post-pandemic. I think that's a pretty cool episode, so I was excited to do that one.
I liked it too because I go on ESPN just to try to live again.
Try and have a semblance
makes me
of a
feel
normal
alive.
life.
Yeah, and no, it's actually because I just I realize I have a habit of checking ESPN every day. And it's been like a month without sports, and I still go on every day. But I read a lot of articles like that, and it's interesting because a lot of the things that people, sports writers are bringing up, we brought up in our episode.
One of the things that I've noticed that the sports industry is doing a lot of video game tournaments and stuff, like almost like esports, but with like actual players. So the NBA did like their 2K with like Andre Drummond, and I saw them. He was playing against like Derrick Rose for a little while, and like there's all these different players that were
like
in
random
it.
guys. It seems like.
All the the European soccer teams are doing it. I think the NHL is doing it with NHL Live. So
I guess because like Twitch is so popular nowadays, people like to watch video games. Apparently now,
and it's like a full on like tournament, and they're donating like all the money or whatever that's involved, like COVID-19 proceeds and everything.
You can bet on it too.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe DraftKings and
I love
those
all
guys.
those. You can bet on simulations now. It's incredible.
Wow, incredible. You know what also is incredible, Aaron, is that this is episode 30. Can you believe that we've hit 30 episodes for Weekendology?
I'm impressed.
Well, it's a good
pat
milestone.
on our backs.
I know, pat on our backs too.
Wow.
And I want to thank all the listeners out there. We're just two guys trying to bring some interesting topics to your discussion. So maybe we'll kickstart some Zoom chats this weekend.
That's 30 weekends of fun.
30 weekends of fun. Not quite a year, but we're getting there. So
almost.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? So another 30 weeks.
We just got to get to episode 50 and then episode 100. Those are the big
milestones, yeah. But anything new that you're trying to do to stave off boredom, Aaron? You have any new things you're watching, or because I'm running out of things to do here.
I've been jogging, or
there you go.
Some people might call it yogging
with
a soft J.
Yeah. Are you competitively walking, where you have to compete? Put one foot on the ground at all times and swivel your hips and everything.
I have been. Yeah, I feel like that, or I try to imagine myself doing that when I walk, because I'm out of shape and I'll have to stop when I jog. And so then when I walk, I'm to make myself feel better. I'm like, well, I'm power walking.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I'm probably just like strolling.
Well, they say keep your heart rate up, and as long as you're moving, then it doesn't matter how fast you're moving.
I've decided, I need to get outside and just move.
Are you doing morning runs or afternoon?
No. I'm an afternoon guy. I told myself I'd do the morning run, and every single time I say that, I set my alarm. I wake up. I see it's 6 a.m. Like, nope.
So I've done a good job of getting up and doing some exercise in the morning this week.
Person, though.
Well, not really.
More than me.
It's really hard for me to.
It's because soccer's not on. See, if soccer's on,
that's true.
In England or somewhere in Europe, and you got to wake
up
at
7:30 in the morning on a Sunday,
then you're up.
So
then you're motivated.
But I've been doing core exercise in the morning, and then some other exercises in the afternoon. So when it does get a little bit warmer out in the mornings, I probably will go for morning runs. I don't know.
We got to run together.
I want to try and get
afternoon.
Try and get used to that though. But even to get it out of the way. But
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I can't get myself motivated. But by the afternoon, I'm so bored. I'm like, well, now I got to do something. And then
that's true.
Yeah, so I'm more motivated to do that.
Social distancing has really started to kind of affect everything that's going on. Like like I said, you're the only person that I've seen on a week to week basis. So I'm starting to get a little bit of cabin fever, and the whole pandemic thing really changes the way that we interact with a lot of people. And I think everything is going to be obviously reconsidered when it comes time to go back out into the world, venture off into the wilds, and go back to hopefully a semblance of.
I'm just picturing all these pasty looking people, like
a bunch of out of shape, really
tired
white,
looking, the sunlight.
It's gonna be really, really bad. Yeah, it's like a bunch of people with hangovers.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are outside now. So
it's beautiful weather out today. So.
It's amazing to see how many people are outside.
It is. I went for a jog. A jog, which was down to the block and back for 10 minutes or something. But I was like, I got to get out. And
does that count as a jog?
Yeah. It's a short jog.
Oh, okay.
A very, very short jog.
That could be like a slow sprint.
It was you haven't seen me sprint.
A leisure sprint.
Yeah, a leisure sprint. But there was a lot of people out. But I think we're stepping into a brave new world, and that's what our episode is about today. We're breaking down all the ways that society and social interactions are changing, and how it's all going to be post-pandemic.
I'm just having a whole new world run through my head right now.
Can you sing the rest of that song, Aaron? We're going to get copyright struck now.
No. If I sing it, it's not copyright. See, if we splice it in there, then it would be.
Okay.
That's why I'm here. I can sing it.
There you go. Exactly.
A whole new place I never knew. Is that how it goes?
I have no idea. So
it's Jasmine, man.
Come
on.
Nah, I haven't seen that in a really long time. So.
Well, you're in isolation.
I know.
Now.
I guess you gotta watch Aladdin now, really quick. But we know all the big changes are coming for the sporting events, like entertainment and restaurants and telecommuting from home. But we're talking about kind of the daily interactions with it too. Anything off the top of your head that's probably going to change really quickly as we come back?
Yeah, so this is interesting because I actually tweeted at, I don't know who, somebody, because I just randomly tweet at people now and I'm so bored. But they were talking about bars. And actually, you know what? I think it was my boy Russell Davis who follows me on Twitter. Shout out Russell Davis, one of the best mixologists in the world. And go visit his bar if you're ever in the Virgin Islands. He has a new bar open down there.
Cool.
But yeah. So, tweeted at Russell Davis because he was asking how bars will change and, what people thought. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, you're going to get that initial, people are scared, people are really nervous. And it's like, again, I hate using this comparison, but I think it's half fair to say. It's like post 9/11, how people were, where they're really nervous and really thoughtful about, okay, when I go to the airport, and how security has to be, and just things like that. People are more like on edge, about that stuff and about security. Now, it's been almost 20 years. You kind of see it shift back to kind of getting relaxed and, security. Heck, sometimes they won't make you take off your shoes anymore.
That's true.
They'll get you through really quick. And I make that comparison because I feel like it's going to be similar where people will come out and they'll be, okay, well, I don't want to be in a big group, and they'll be really conscious of it. And then over time, they'll just start going back to normal and do what they always did because time heals all wounds and people forget and people,
That would be terrible, though. To go back to where we were and then we have like a second outbreak and then it's like
well, I think that definitely could happen, but I think it's just human nature where people, they just forget the impact of these things because it's not fresh. And especially nowadays, people are so emotional with how fresh things are in their minds, and if it affects them right here, right now, and once it stops, then it kind of goes in one ear out the other, and they just go back to how they want to do things.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I would say so handshakes and like hugs. Do you think we're gonna turn into like an elbow bump or like a fist bump for like a
the Bash Brothers?
Meeting? Yeah, like
Mark McGuire,
pleasure to meet
Canseco.
you, Mr. CEO. Like fist bump. Like what's up, man? Instead of like a handshake or something.
I honestly, yeah, I think at first, I'm gonna say my whole take on this will be the first 3 months will be like really weird. Things will really change, and then slowly, let's say the end of 2020, going into 2021, we'll get back to normal, and people start doing the same old thing. But I could see that, just because why not? I mean, think about how much hand washing talk we've discussed over the past couple months. I've washed my hands
more times in the past 4 weeks than I have in the past 4 months or something.
Or hand
years.
Sanitizer.
Yeah, what? So you think we're gonna see masks or people carrying hand sanitizer around, or that's gonna be the new currency and everything?
I don't think masks, but just because that's a little extreme. And it's kind of inconvenient for people, but I think
people freak out though. We saw the mass rush on toilet paper and supplies.
Well, the
in
mask
the first
shortage,
week or two,
hospitals don't even have enough.
Exactly, yeah. So I'd probably guess that there'd be some people at the bars or restaurants or something with the masks on, just
like in China
during that first 3 months or something. Just
I feel like people in Asia always wear masks.
Oh, they do all the time because there's 3 billion people over there.
So it's going to be like that in America now.
Maybe not as much, but downscale version of it.
I could see people on planes especially doing that, or buses or just any public transportation.
What gets to me is I saw a video on CNN of this dude that he was at a restaurant, which one of them was still open somehow, but he was wearing a mask in it. I was like, how are you eating when you have the mask on? You have to take the mask off to eat, and then you're exposing yourself. So why are you there? What is the purpose of this? So
it's stupid. I love when you see people like that, or the people that wear gloves, but then they don't change their gloves, or
they don't change them right after they go into somewhere.
Yeah, or they'll touch something and then keep their gloves on. I'm like, well, what are you doing? You're just spreading germs around.
Yeah, it's the same as usual. Do you think maybe people will sit further away from each other too, or they'll be, I don't know, we won't talk to people unless they're 6 feet away or something?
Yeah, and I think this is really sad because I think we already were getting, before all this happened, I think we were already kind of getting to a point where people were less trustworthy, especially in American culture. You see it in European culture, or just a lot of other foreign cultures. People are just more touchy, And Americans, I feel were a lot less. They wouldn't put their arms around each other. They'd stand further back.
You'll probably see less PDA for couples in public.
Yeah, maybe. I don't see why not. Just because I think it's, like I said, especially right away, I think we're going to start seeing that because it's fresh in people's minds. But I think really that hand-to-hand contact, handshaking and I don't know.
Yeah, direct interpersonal, touching or communication will probably.
I think that'll, I don't know about totally go away, but I think it'll lessen in culture where people will be more conscious of it. And you could see, a fist bump or something.
Yeah.
I can't picture that, but I think why wouldn't that happen?
I don't see why it wouldn't happen. I was watching, Discovery Channel, and they were doing something with. Remember Les Stroud, the Survivor Man?
I don't think I remember him.
He was
like a Bear Grylls?
Yeah, he was kind of like the Bear Grylls guy, except he would like do his own camera equipment, and he'd drop him off. He'd be totally alone in the wilderness.
Was that the guy who got eaten by a bear or a cougar?
Well, he was still alive in this episode.
Oh, okay, one of them. Well, I thought one of them died. That was like a big fad.
Maybe I think Les got attacked by a bear, but he survived.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they were doing like something, and he was like, survival tips for pandemic area, and he was going to. He was like, how to survive in your house for X amount of days, and then he's like, how to navigate going to the store, public and everything, and it was like a full like actually him in the wilderness, but he was like going to the grocery store.
That's funny.
But I
like
did research into this afterwards, and it was like there's grocery stores hiring people full time to just clean all of the surfaces and make sure like everything is wiped down.
Yeah.
To give shoppers peace of mind, which I think is a huge thing because people are super paranoid. There's going to be a lot of distrust for people, especially like months after we get the all clear. People are not going to maybe believe that.
Right.
And so maybe they won't go outside as much or will stay inside even more unless we have certain precautions or people saying, okay, yeah, it's okay. Like these people's jobs are just to go out and just clean all the surfaces down like every 30 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's just hard for me to believe that like it's some of those things are totally going to go away because they're so embedded in our culture. But do you think like, well, for example, restaurants, I mean, do you think people aren't going to sit by each other? Those long tables where you can sit by a stranger?
Like the picnic style tables or whatever. Yeah.
Do you think people won't sit at those anymore?
I think they will. I think they'll just be cognizant to put more space between the two of them. Mm-hmm. So if it's like it's stacked on top of each other, they might put one person in between as a space holder then. So like, one person skip a little bit of space and then another person. So I don't think it'll be as packed together.
Do you think it'll last?
It depends on how quickly we get a vaccine, how quickly we decide that we're okay with certain things.
Do you think once we get a vaccine, people just go back to normal?
Then will go back to normal, yeah.
See, and that's right. I think it might not because if it's long enough, I guess it depends. But, I mean, think about it. There's a vaccine for the flu, like a flu shot. And is that...
But I feel much safer once I get my flu shot. I'm like, even though there's different versions of the flu...
But you're still like... You're washing your hands when you see a sick person, or
you're
still cognizant.
I'm not around. I'm like, if I see somebody like, oh, I'm not feeling good, I'm like, stay away from me. I don't want to get sick. But I still feel more confident and a little bit peace of mind saying, okay, I've got my flu shot. Like, I'm not going to get that version of the flu.
I just feel like if people I think they'll feel more confident, but I think this had such an impact where, and like I said, I think this is the right away factors. Right. I think years from now it will go back to normal because people forget, but I think it'll be a part of the culture too. Just consciously think of, okay, how close am I getting to someone? When did they wash their hands?
So what happens to physical touch? Like, do we eliminate physical touch altogether between just strangers, or unless it's like your significant other? Then for me personally, I don't think there's a need to, because at that rate, then all our lives you should have been doing it, because there's always a risk that you can get something crazy or just sick in general, or just it's not healthy in general, But I think culturally, like just in people in general, I think they will. I think you're going to see less. I was thinking about that too when bringing up the bar again, like dance floors. Think about all these like dance floors at bars, people randomly dancing with other people and making out with random people and grinding on random people. Thing,
I was thinking about that. I was like, are you going to see that anymore? I don't think so. I really don't think you'll. I mean, it won't be completely gone because people get drunk and they do that. But I don't think you're going to see it as much because people are just going to get used to.
I probably agree with you.
Stay away.
We don't know what restrictions will take place in bars or restaurants after this is all done either. So we might even have the opportunity to do that for quite a while. Darn, no random people I get to grind with. Like, if we do move to a world that's a little bit less of physically interacting or physical touch, then, you know, we require some of that when we're sad, or, you know, we need to be comforted or certain stuff like that. You know, when we don't have that, it actually produces like a dopamine level in your brain where you get like a physical sensation. You know, if I give you a hug when you're sad or something, it helps you calm you down.
Oh, thanks, Will.
But you know, like if that goes away completely, then how do we cope in, you know, for our mental health, or how do we cope for even our physical health?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You know, I think that it's sad if we start seeing those things deteriorate culturally, because I think people already were just kind of weird about that stuff. You know, when they didn't need to be. You know, and it was like almost, whoa, you know, personal space, you know, that sort of thing. And it wasn't like a health issue. It was just a cultural, like, just right. That's not what we do in America, you know. And I think it's too bad. Not that it's a terrible thing, but I just think it's not bad to have, you know, yeah, like hugging people or just those signs of affection. I think people need it. And, you know, especially seeing all the mental health, you know, awareness and things like that, I think it does really help. And, you know, I think you're exactly right. So if you see that go away for a reason like, well, I don't want to get sick. Well, that argument, I mean, you could have said that all your life, you know?
That's true, yeah. I definitely think, obviously, we're going to get like more of a virtual connection, obviously, as people social distance. I heard somewhere that this could go into 2022 for social distancing.
They're talking about like sports and concerts not happening till end of 2021.
Yeah, which
the
is
earliest.
Insane. I can't imagine a month without sports. I can't imagine a year and a half without it. Like any kind of
you're gonna like watch every sport known to man.
I'm literally gonna watch every single All-Star game in every single sport up until 2020. Then,
oh man.
But anyway, like Zoom chats and like Skype and FaceTime, like those are all forces of interaction between us. But they're only, you know, that's like the currency nowadays. Is I had a big Zoom chat with my family over Easter weekend. There were some people in there that I hadn't seen in quite a while and had spoken to in quite a while, which was great. But I was thinking to myself, well, what is this going to, like, how holidays are going to be or something?
Well,
like,
and I think
have big family get-togethers or like certain areas of celebration. So we're going to just like eat dinner over the phone or something? Like,
I mean, I think
did you cut the turkey, Mom? Yep, stuffing's really great. Okay, cool.
Have like a machine that has like fake smells. So it's even more authentic.
Somebody's got a really great like dinner spread, and then like me, or doesn't have like a great cooking ability. Like, crap, I got some store-bought turkey breast from Lunch Meat and some packaged stuffing here.
Just make it look good for the Zoom.
Yeah.
I think that's the sad part though is we already were kind of going down that road with how into social media people were, and how people, I think it's good because people felt more connected, but it's not because they weren't actually connected with people, you know, because the whole hiding behind your computer screen thing,
that's true.
That kind of part of the culture. And I think it's adding, and I get it, you know, it's for a good reason now, but if that becomes too prevalent, I think we're going to lose out on the importance of, you know, the physical interaction. And I think that's so important to be face-to-face with someone. You can't duplicate that.
No, you really can't. And I always love more of obviously a face-to-face interaction. I'm like, I like my own space and personal time, but you know,
face-to-face,
it's sad not seeing
you see
anybody.
The true person. Yeah. And two, like, nonverbal communication is so important, and I really think you don't truly get that on Zoom or Skype or whatever, because you can't see everything. You're seeing a headshot of a person, you know? And I just
it's almost too formal. It's almost like an interview or something, like where you ask questions.
Right.
Like, how was your day? It was really good, you know, but it's just like too rigid and stuff.
Well, and I like with you, I can see the way you're sitting. You're comfortable. You're leaned back. You got your leg on your knee. You know, the way your hands are positioned.
I'm chilling.
I can see you talking with your hands, so I can tell you're comfortable talking to me and that the conversation's going well. Example.
No, Aaron, I'm not comfortable. You
no,
make
I'm
me
super
so
nervous.
Uncomfortable.
Oh, this is my nervous
stance.
My nervous.
No, I agree with you.
But, you know, and I just think if I were on a Zoom call, I might not be able to make those observations. So think about it, a job interview. A perfect example. I'm just seeing right there, you know, torso up, or like You're
you
stirring
don't even
them
have
up.
to wear pants now. So
There you go. Oh, that's a benefit, right?
You can just wear your suit, the upper portion, and then just go no pants. Then.
That is the one benefit is I can just dress like this.
I agree. Cool. It is very rigid and everything, but a lot of these services now are moving towards kind of the virtual world. Like there's the Teladoc one. I just had a doctor's appointment that was super quick for Teladoc.
You love Teladoc?
Yes.
Got to get them a sponsor on the podcast.
Got to get a sponsor on a podcast. But like virtual medicine and everything, virtual mental health and counseling too is moving towards it. There's apps now that you can download to communicate.
People need it because they're sitting at home alone.
It's almost
all day.
like not like a hotline, so to speak, but it's just all through.
What's the one Michael Phelps does?
Better Me or something?
No, it's got talk in it. It's like
Better. I don't know.
Talkspace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you haven't seen that commercial?
No, but I've seen one for Better Me, which is like an app, and you can literally just download it, and you don't even have to be.
I haven't seen that.
Like in an area for. You can just be anywhere, and like any counselor will get on there and be like, talk about how you're feeling. And
yeah, right.
So I think that's a huge type of change, considering that. You would need to go to the doctor face to face for an exam, but sometimes you can just do that quickly over the phone, and it's much more convenient. And then especially for like counseling and everything, I think that's like a game changer almost.
I think it's good in short doses, small doses. I think it's a good thing for if you can't get to someone or to limit the exposure, but. Like I said, I think you at some point, especially with counseling, like I said, body language is so important to read someone. I think that you do need that every so often. So it would be good to add in, from now on and have as an option.
Right.
Teledoc's great. It's very convenient, but I just think you can't duplicate what you can get out of a face-to-face meeting 100%. You can't just switch over and have the whole world be virtual. You need that face-to-face interaction in some instances. So
yeah, and it'd be interesting to see kind of like how the businesses shift towards kind of the more virtual, like lack of physical.
I think it'll be permanent in that way.
People.
I think they'll have it as an option, and I think especially when travel is inconvenient, you're not going to see people flying across the country just willy-nilly. I think you're going to see where it's a lot more, hey, let's just hop on Skype or let's just do this on Zoom. A lot more,
probably.
It saved money.
Yeah,
companies are saving money that way too. You're not flying people out. You're not paying for dinners. You're not, doing all that stuff. So,
God, what a world it's gonna be like in like 2022, 23, like 3 years from now.
Either that, or it's just all gonna go back to normal, and we're gonna forget about it.
Go all back to normal, or it'll be sweeping changes across the plane. And
across the plane.
Across the plane.
I think there's going to be like we said, the Zoom and things like that. I think that's going to be instilled, and that isn't going to go away. We're going to see more of that, but I don't think it's going to be a 180. It's just going to be kind of small things, and then little things are going to be implemented.
What I'm interested to see is like what happens with the entertainment industry going forward, like movie theaters or Hollywood, or even smaller things like concerts or plays or comedy
I don't think movie theaters
shows
will exist at all.
I don't think movie theaters will be able to survive. AMC already said that they're like about ready to close their doors in July. But like the smaller shows, like you're going to stream concerts and everything. Streaming is obviously the way of the future. So instead of going to like a Coldplay concert, you're just going to stream it on your, I don't know, Spotify, or like watch it live on
If
HBO
you're streaming Coldplay, you need to get a
I don't
life.
know, not Coldplay per se, but
band.
Coldplay's not that bad either. I like Coldplay. I like
a
them.
white guy.
Well, I am a white guy, so I'm the whitest guy you know.
We want to listen to Dave Matthews Band too while you're at it?
No, I was thinking about Creed or something, okay?
Yeah, rock
but like
on.
comedy shows, or like even like Broadway plays or stuff, like you might not see.
So that's interesting, because I feel like with comedy, how do you feel about this? Because with comedy, I feel like I can watch something on Netflix, and if the guy's funny, the guy's funny. Like, I don't need to be.
But there's
I like
a certain
being
like
there.
level of experience that you get with going to somewhere live, even if it is like a little rinky-dinky.
But this is what I'm saying.
Banger.
Like with comedy, I think you can watch it on TV and it's funny. You're getting the experience. Yeah, I think it obviously improves being there because you're around other people laughing. But a concert is different because you're really appreciating a talent because you're watching someone play an instrument.
It's
you're
a
watching
whole
different
performance too.
parts.
There's light
it's like watching a
shows
team,
and
right?
Yeah, there's
there's
crazy
way
visuals
more,
and
it's not just a guy behind a microphone and that's it. So I think with comedy, I think that has a better chance at surviving and shutting down those clubs and doing it more, streaming and that. I think we've seen it already with how big some comedians have gotten just on Netflix alone.
Yeah. Ronnie Chang just went up in popularity.
Right. So they've made that work. Whereas a concert, there's like Palladia as a concert channel. Fuse, there's MTV back in the day. Like there's all these, they've done it for so many years and they've never been able to, it's not like we've seen less people go to concerts. It's not like we're seeing stadiums not filled anymore. I just feel like in plays, same thing. You can't duplicate that on TV. It's just not the same. Whereas like a movie, the reason I think movie theaters will go away because I'm not going to a play. I'm not going to watch Tom Cruise in person. I'm watching him basically on TV.
Right.
I'm missing out on the experience, like the surround sound and just that whole thing, but it's less of the experience.
You get the less of the cinematic adventure, as I like to call it, for the theaters, and
but
smell of popcorn and everything.
But you think about it, like you can create your own home movie theater if you want.
You can.
I'm not saying this is 100%, but I'm saying it's closer than I can't duplicate. Going to see a concert in my living room.
You can't duplicate Coldplay.
I can't have Coldplay right in front of
singing,
my
clocks or something or whatever. Speed of sound.
Who is that?
That's Coldplay.
Oh, that's
Speed
Coldplay?
of Sound. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. See, you're not as white as me, so
I'm not.
You better up your white person game, okay, Aaron?
I need to blast some Jack Johnson to get
there
a little
you
intro.
Go. There you go. Now you're in the club. But
God, if you put a gun to my head, I could not sing any of those songs. I seriously don't know.
Well,
I know I don't like any of those people.
I'm not going to say anything going for forward about Jack Johnson. So
you love yourself a little banana pancakes?
Maybe. No, I think you're right though. You can't replicate that type of experience, and even when we do get the go ahead, it could see less people because, one, we don't know how ticket prices are going to go. I mean, the demand could be way up, so prices could go up, but people will be like, I'm not paying $400 a ticket to go see, random, opener acts and a couple other people. I hope that happens
where people just stick it to Ticketmaster and Live Nation, their stupid overpriced fees.
Too.
Like, ugh.
But then you would see less people go anyway, and then it's like, well, why go outside, risk getting exposed, paying exorbitant amounts of money for a ticket when I can just stay outside.
I think that's going to be challenging because I think that's another thing that will be a part of our culture where we are concerned about capacity. And it's going to be, they're going to have less capacity starting out. But I think that could be a lasting thing where they think about, okay, do I want to get in this pit of 5,000 people? Is that safe? You think twice about that.
Yeah, I would probably think twice about that because it's all super sweaty and people are like throwing drinks around.
It's
and
people
everything.
from all over. People travel to go to concerts.
No idea, and it's so hard to. I feel just disgusting coming out of a concert sometimes. Before the pandemic, I was just like, man, I feel really
I went to a show one time and the air conditioning broke.
Oh God,
it was the grossest thing, and it was like. It's The Door, R.I.P. It's no longer with us, but
where is it? Is it in Dallas?
It's in Dallas, yeah. Okay. It's Deep Ellum. It's been around for a while, but just this old nasty venue, and it was just funny because I never thought twice about it, but like people were the bars on the sides, but they'd walk by and just sweat just all over you, just. And other people just breathing on you and sweating. It was so gross.
That sounds terrible.
Could you imagine doing that nowadays? You'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to get sick. Like,
no, I'd probably be
I'm amazed
out.
I didn't get sick back then.
Kind of a germaphobe anyway, so.
I don't think you're going to see like clubs like that anymore.
Probably not.
I just, because I think they're not going to justify, we can cram all these people in here and, not give them proper space or
it's the
air.
End of strip clubs, Aaron. It's over.
I have no comment
Shut it all down. I have no comment on that.
How do they make money now? If you're a stripper,
I don't know.
You can't
Internet,
do lap dances
social
anymore.
media, OnlyFans,
Cam soda.
I guess.
Wow.
I'd be interested
Again,
to see like
not the same.
What happens?
Can't duplicate the experience. Not that I know anything about it.
No, I thought you had no comment on that, Aaron.
Hey, shout out to all the strippers out there.
Okay.
You're hardworking girls.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see like how social media pivots to it as well. I think obviously it's such a huge part of how we interact with people, and it's become a social interaction in and of its own. But there's a lot of false information spreading around social media, like Twitter and Facebook, about COVID-19 or just like anything in general.
Oh, I thought it was all true.
You believe everything you read on the internet?
Yeah, I mean,
why wouldn't you? So it's all true.
It's all true.
Believe it or not, there were some false.
If you're putting
things
on the internet, why would you lie?
Well, that's true. Actually,
it's there forever.
Yeah, that's true. It is there forever.
You could be messing with people's minds. Why would you lie?
My mind has been messed with way too many times through social media. But believe it or not, there were some fake things that were put out there, and we're still bringing it up in certain research studies or people talking about it. And even though it's been debunked, like these terrible things of like, yeah, if you drink bleach, it will help you get rid of COVID-19, or
yeah, it will, because you're dead,
because you'll be dead or something, or like there's so many like dumb things.
Was that an actual?
That was an actual thing, yeah. Or it's like if you eat peanut butter and drink a lemon juice, then it'll help alleviate your fever or something.
Can we bring back the Tide Pod challenge?
You see, like the stupidity of people, though. So I mean, how is social media going to pivot to spreading some information and keeping it as is if it's going to people to increase using it with people staying away from others? Or is it going to just be like a savior or a destroyer type of thing? I don't know.
I mean, I think the savior part, it's kind of funny word to use. But I think it'll be that because...
Well, I mean, I'd be bored out of my mind if I didn't have Twitter.
Well, so. Yeah. It'll keep people, from not doing really stupid stuff. But also, I think it'll keep people connected and interacting and sharing news and that sort of thing when used properly. But, like the same problem social media has all the time. People use it improperly.
Damn trolls on there.
Yeah, trolls, or they'll report things that they know nothing about, or like that, the breaking Adam Schefter, I'm looking at you, just throwing out junk that like, oh, I saw this. Okay,
ESPN has reported a lot of inaccurate things lately.
They'll report just like stuff from those parody accounts.
They will, yeah.
Like, and just be like, oh, yeah, this happened. This guy got signed. I'm like, really? You wanted to report it so quick and so bad that, like, you just threw it up there and put your reputation on the line, your credibility on the line, so you could be first.
I hope like they shift towards kind of like a learning platform. Like online learning is obviously going to be a whole lot more prevalent too. So I hope the social media sites maybe partner with like universities or schools, or maybe just have their own like learning platform.
Yeah,
where you can go like Twitter University or something, and you can just learn about a bunch of stuff on Twitter, but it's credible information.
That gets me thinking too. With universities, are we going to see just degrees fully online now?
Oh, I would probably. I'd probably surmise that.
I know there's online degrees. What I mean by that is like, are we going to see enrollment? I mean, you could see that cut in half going to online.
I would. Yeah,
why not? If you can do, especially if you have a degree that doesn't have labs or anything, you have to physically be there. You're just sitting through lectures. Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I guess the whole online degree of like, Phoenix University or DeVry or like those crazy dumb online universities are like inferior, but
a lot of universities, like actual major institutions, are doing online degrees.
Yeah, I got an online degree from Duke or something.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be tough for certain majors, but
right. But I mean, like the business school. Like
100%.
Penn or Northwestern, these huge prestigious business schools. You don't have labs.
Yeah,
like why not? That way you don't have to sit in the lecture. You can just have a professor. Record the videos, makes it more convenient for them. It's a win-win in my book.
I agree.
So I think that's something you'll definitely start seeing is this shift. And which the bad thing though is, less people on campus. Then
campus activities suffer. Not as much probably donations or activity.
Harder to recruit.
It'll
save the colleges money, but it might not because they use some of those campuses, that's their marketing. You go on campus, you're like, oh, this is beautiful.
That's why I went to SLU
here.
was because I really loved the campus. I felt at home there. It didn't feel like I was like isolated or in like a weird part of St. Louis or something. It was a really like beautiful campus, and I was like, this is where I want to spend my time.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting because it will save them money because they don't have to do all the room and board stuff and all that. Upkeep in that way. If that shift happens in an extreme world, let's say, all these people go online now. I mean, but, if that happens, then you have no marketing, and then you're not doing campus visits anymore.
Yeah.
That's a huge
And then you see
blow.
a little of less social interaction, and then your interpersonal skills or talking and dynamics and stuff go away. Like
which I think we're already going away.
Yeah, you lose some of those skills, and then what does that do for friendships or workplace friendships or something, or even like interactions with classmates and everything? You don't get that kind of bond or relationship that you build. So
I think that's,
makes it
and
harder.
especially for like talking about college, that's one of the most important things I think I learned in college. Was human interaction, like literally being social with anybody and everybody. I got good at it because I had to do it in college, and I had to meet new people every day and learn how do I talk to them, what do I say, how do I interact, And I feel like you're not going to get those skills then if you do that. And, you'll learn the book stuff, but you're not learning those extra things that you really need for a job. And I would argue is more important going into a job out of college to have those skills built in.
Man, I don't know. It's going to be really weird. And I was thinking about this. I was like, what happens if like there's no happy hours or, no going out to dinner or something at restaurants or going out to grab a couple drinks or something, or even like some of our values are going to change. I was talking about like, how are we going to celebrate holidays later on? How are we going to be able to come back to a semblance of society?
How are we gonna rage?
How are we gonna rage again? Like, I need me some raging, especially now. Like, I can't rage by myself. That's just pathetic. So,
hey, not now. Now you can get away with raging by yourself.
Oh, I guess
solo rage is alive and well now.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's a cultural shift, though.
Yeah,
it is now acceptable to do things alone that
I've been
weren't
trying to tell
before.
people there's nothing wrong with a little solo rage. It's not alcoholic behavior. It's fun.
It's totally
you should all
fine.
try it. And then now it's okay. See, I was just social distancing all along.
But values change and everything. I mean, hopefully our mentality and sense of community will grow stronger, since we're socially distanced. When we come back, like, we need to volunteer more to help people out more, or we need to
hopefully.
Well, there's no guarantee for that, but hopefully we'll come together more as like a.
Are you running for
society.
Office?
Maybe I
Are you
am.
giving your candidate
I
pitch.
Run for president 2024. Wait, no, I'm not 35 then. So let's see. President 2032. 2032.
Really?
Yeah. 12 years from now?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 2032 I can
There you
run.
go.
So, yeah, watch out, 2032. I'm running for president then. Anybody can win for president, I think, now.
Yeah, by that
The
time.
Cubester said he was going to run for president
Like Cuban?
in 2024, yeah.
Oh, I thought he's... Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, I might do it. I don't know. I'm undecided yet.
God, I love when he says that. I could see The Rock being president, too. I feel like he's
The Rock
another
probably will be president. He already is president of Hollywood, so.
I mean, hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor. Why not?
True. We should do a whole episode on The Rock and all of his movies.
Just his movies.
Just all of his movies.
Why Skyscraper is great.
Why Skyscraper is bad?
It's a good movie.
Terrible movie. God. We're not socially interacting anymore, Aaron. That's it. It's over.
By the way, I watched what's it? Knives Out.
Great movie.
No, that movie sucks.
What? Shut up!
I saw your tweet about that.
No way. A great movie.
I saw your tweet about that, and I was like, okay, I gotta check this out. Will said it's good. Which going in, I'm like, well, we have a totally different taste in movies, so I'm probably not gonna like this.
It was a great movie.
No,
I love like the murder mystery whodunit type
boring.
of flick. So, you know what? You suck.
Skyscraper is so much.
There's
better.
the door, Aaron.
Skyscraper is the best. I'm gonna leave and go watch Skyscraper.
Wow, go ahead, do it. I don't even care.
What do you have against people with prosthetic legs, Will?
Nothing. I have something against bad movies though, and B-list action, scripts. So this is literally the same movie as Die Hard. You realize that?
Every movie is the same movie. What's a
Get Out?
No,
Get Smart?
Knives Out.
Knives Out
is Clue. Like,
yeah, but it's got Chris Evans in it, so it's awesome.
wow.
Yeah, didn't see that one coming.
No, I guess not. He is a better actor than The Rock, so I'll give you that.
What else?
And Daniel Craig doing a Southern
Daniel
accent.
Craig is amazing. I love him.
He didn't need to do a Southern accent, though. It was a little too much.
Yeah, he really can't do a Southern accent very well. It was a little jarring to hear him that, but Knives Out, great movie. Skyscraper, bad movie. Let us know your thoughts, though. We want to hear from you guys.
First on that, and then all the other stuff.
Exactly. If you like what we talked about in this episode and want to continue the conversation, hit us up on Twitter. We're on Weekendology Pod. Hit us up on YouTube. Just search Weekendology Podcast. How is social interaction going to change post-pandemic? What ways are you using to stay active? Keep your mind sharp during these
Take
dull
care of your
times.
mentals. Take care of your chicken.
Take care of your mentals. We want to hear your thoughts, so drop us a line. If you got any ideas for our next episodes, give us some thoughts, because we're doing a mini series on changes after coronavirus, apparently. So this is
the only thing going on right now.
This is the only thing that's happening.
Well, no, we got the Rock.
We got the Rock.
The Rock.
We'll compare.
Would be that?
We'll compare the Rock's good movies versus his bad movies.
The change of his good movies. To
I'll
bad
come up
movies.
with my list, and you come up with your list, and then that will be our episode.
I mean, I am not a fan of his acting. I'm just like, his movies are good if you're just like bored and chilling, and you have nothing else to do. But like, I'm not saying he's got.
We have to look
movies.
at it as like objectively,
He's got
like,
entertaining movies.
We'll rate it as best movie ever, worst movie ever, and that'll be our rating scale.
Are you gonna put Skyscraper at the worst?
Worst movie ever.
What about the one with the gorilla in it?
Worst movie ever.
What's the one with the white gorilla?
Rampage.
Yeah, I'd say that's worse.
It had one of my favorite actors, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, in it. And
what about San Andreas? That movie sucked too.
Worst movie ever.
Okay, so Skyscraper's at least above.
But
those
it wasn't like worst movie ever. It was like worst movie ever. Like not as bad, but still pretty bad.
It's all about the tone.
Exactly.
Worst
yeah.
movie ever.
But then you've got like, I don't know, movies like Fast and Furious, best movie ever.
Are you kidding me?
See, our rating scale is flawless, so you can't go wrong.
Well, wait, he wasn't in the first Fast and Furious, right?
He was in like 5 other ones though. So
yeah, he was like in the second half when.
I don't know.
Wasn't he? Was he in the? He was like the post Paul Walker ones, right?
He was in a couple of the Paul Walker ones, and then after Paul died, he did his own stuff. So. They're doing like spin-offs and everything. I don't know. We'll do a whole episode on it. But be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, where we talk about the future of the sports industry in our last episode. Check out the Big Red World, too. Don't forget about them. All of our episodes are in collaboration with them, too. They're on Twitter at Big Red Social. Their website is bigredworld.org. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. Aaron, you got anything before we wrap up here?
Follow us on Twitter. Give us a nice comment if you'd like on Apple Podcasts and rate 5 stars.
There you go. Perfect.
You got nothing else to do.
You got nothing else to do. So hope you turn us on for this weekend as another weekend comes and goes with social distancing and
wear your masks, kids. And,
wear your masks.
No,
you can talk like Bane too with your mask on.
Oh, Batman!
I was gonna do a Bane impression, but now
you can't do a Bane impression without putting your face.
You can't.
Oh,
that's really bad too.
What?
Do you want to put your hand in front of your
I
face?
know, right? See, that's why don't be doing your Bane impressions.
I'm not going to do it. I'll do it for the Rock episode then. Check us out on Twitter. We got new episodes every Friday. So until then, we'll see you guys next week.